Have you ever made a mistake that made you want to crawl under a freaking rock and never come out? I mean, careless mistakes in your business where you feel as if you knew better. Well, guess what? Me too. We all have. But guess what? Failure is not the end of the world. And in fact, it really can be the beginning of something truly amazing. I want to tell you guys some of the biggest mistakes I made over the past year. And these were cringe worthy, guys. But I'm going to also tell you guys how I overcame them. And I'm going to share some tips with you so that you don't have to go through the same exact thing. Keep watching. What's up, industry pros, and welcome back to Raising the Bar, which is the only draping podcast on the internet. And it's your girl, Precious Stevens, the Draping Queen. And honey, we're about to get super real on something that nobody really likes to talk about, and that is failure. I get it. Everybody want to act like it's all good. Everybody all doing the right thing. But nah, we going to get into it because we all have been there, right? We all made mistakes. We've all had those moments where we felt like just throwing in the freaking towel. At least I know I have. Failure is really not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to it. And on today's episode, I'm pulling back the curtain on the mistakes that I made so that you don't have to. So put on your learning caps and get ready to turn my failures into fuel for your fire, because this is one episode that's going to be hot. All right, guys. So before we jump into things, I want to kick it off and let you guys know what we have coming up that is truly amazing that I just don't want you guys to miss out on. If you're watching this and it is current, then guess what? You know that we are embarking upon our spring premium draping masterclass tour, and I don't want y'all to miss out, guys. Our Atlanta locations are already sold out, but guess what? We recently opened up a new location, which is our warehouse, as well as our content studio. And we are hosting new premium draping masterclasses that is ranging from anything that you can possibly think of. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, we're pulling out all the stops. But I'm not going to go in full detail on this podcast because you could simply just click the link below and find out what up and coming classes we have at our new location, which is the studio, as well as any location that's on tour, maybe a city close to you. So definitely click the link down in the description so that you do not miss out. All right, guys, so here we go. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm trying to tell you, girl, I've had some really big mistakes in business, and I'm talking about the kind of mistakes that keep you up at night, that has you frustrated, that has you questioning your freaking sanity. These almost had me throwing in the towel a couple times because I was just that frustrated. But I'm not going to lie. I honestly am glad that I had these experiences because it's like a reality check. Sometimes you can tend to walk around with your head in the clouds, or sometimes you could tend to spread yourself too thin, or you just giving too much. And things like this happen for a reason, which is why I am so happy that I am now at a level of awareness that I am recognizing what's happening. A couple things that I'm about to share with you today that confirmed I'm on the right track. All right, guys. Now, these are mistakes I'm actually sharing with you that I have recently experienced, right? Because I've been experiencing mistakes in my business since day one. And that's so many, this podcast will never end. So I had to narrow it down to my top 4 that I've experienced this previous year, and it really has shaped where I'm going and how I operate now. So let's kick it off with mistake number 1, which is not recognizing when my avatar has changed. Guys, oh my God. I don't know what I was thinking. I have no idea. Now, I am really clear on who I serve, right? At least I thought I was. And pretty much since I've been in business, since I got this clarity, I would say. Since I've gotten this clarity around who my avatar was and what she wanted and how I help her and all that good stuff, it really hasn't had many changes to it at all. I would say since probably 2020, 20. That's when I really started taking my business serious. That's when I really upped my marketing game and just learned a lot on the business side of things, right? And being clear on my avatar clearly was one of them. And it was one of the best things I ever did. But here it is, 2025. My business has evolved so much, right? But guess what I was doing? I was still marketing to the same type of person. And guys, this was a major problem for me. Reason being is because my ideal client had changed. My ideal client, guess what? They evolved too, right? My audience was no longer just some new designers anymore. Even though in my pool of people in my tribe, I have new designers, but the people I was focused on no longer was those kind of people. Reason being, because I already have a ton of stuff that's perfect for them where it doesn't really qualify my other programs, right? I had seasoned professionals, guys, and these guys now are looking for high-level strategy. They're not looking for that simple find who your avatar is. Baby, they already did that. My coaching framework has not changed much because realistically, marketing is marketing. And no major shifts has happened other than AI, right? And social media. It's not necessarily social media did a drastic change. It's just like the trends of what's happening and what's working would change often. So as long as you're up on that, it was fine. You just will adapt your programs or your coaching styles to the newest tactics, right? Which is totally fine. That part I had. But baby, I was no longer serving people that just getting into it. Or that's not who I was trying to serve at a deeper level. But I was clueless. I had no idea. But because I had not adjusted my messaging, I was leaving so much money on the table. Not to mention, I was finding myself being uninspired. I was finding myself being even a little frustrated, if I'm being totally honest, because I am a person that likes growth. And I felt like I was stuck. I was getting so tired of saying the same thing, doing the same thing, sometimes even working with the same people because they're not putting in any work. Some people, you do have some people that just will stay around simply because you are their safe haven. And I get it. You will have this with almost anyone's program, but that don't work for me. For me, I love growth. I love seeing a person actually win. I love seeing a person make traction. This is what roused me up, right? So I wasn't really seeing it to the degree that I was expecting or that I wanted to. And I wasn't realizing that because where I was and the things that I was learning and how I was shifting my business, it just was too advanced for this group of people. So some of the things I did, guys, to fix this issue, because I had to make a change. Like, I could not continue on this way. So one of the first things I did was I revisited my avatar profile, right? It's a really deep profile. And I had to really go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And I had to update it because a lot of those things are no longer true. I wasn't serving or looking to serve someone that doesn't know where to get started or someone that is attracting low quality clients but don't have money to invest in their business, like things like that. And whereas though before I would still have these people in my program and it was like pulling teeth because realistically the content is too advanced and then maybe even the price point is out of their budget of what they're used to spending. And so it was just one of those things. I was like, we got to make some changes. And I'm loving that I did that because it was one of the things that just made me fall back in love with my business because I just seen this upgraded avatar. And what it did for me was help me realize that not only did my business grow, but the people who I've worked with over the past couple of years, guess what? Their businesses grew. Now they're needing something a little more advanced than what the hell I was talking about. And it ain't that I don't have it. I had it. I just felt as if this is too much for them. And can you imagine being in that space where you're looking at a person's business and you have the stuff that can immediately turn this thing around, but they're stuck at level 1 and you can't even share it? So one thing, like I said, first thing was revisiting my avatar and changing and upgrading that profile. And as I'm upgrading the profile, guys, I'm getting excited because this person has been in business, right? This person has money to invest into to their next level. This person understands systems. Can you imagine someone that's just coming in and you trying to tell them about the importance of a CRM and they like, no, I'll just stay over here, or baby, that's frustrating. I'm like, how you are not going to get to where I am by keep nickeling and diming it, right? So now that I'm looking at this new fresh profile, I'm like, oh, I like her. Why? Because I'm seeing new things that we could do. I'm seeing things that haven't even hit the industry yet. This is like a new opportunity. And I'm not going to lie, y'all, when I was going through this process, because it was now or never, right? I tell y'all all the time, because I'm not lying. I really was about to just leave the industry. For one, this wasn't my money maker. Although I make great money here, I'm not gonna lie, I make great money in the industry, but I have other means, right? I have other things that realistically I rely on. That's why I'm able to be in this industry and just enjoy. I really enjoy what I do. So it just allowed me to just really get excited about it again, right? And it allowed me to fall in love with this new avatar, because now I can create new solutions. I'm talking about things that has been on my vision board, right? Like things that I've been wanting to create, but I haven't been able to create because it just was a little too advanced for the people that I was currently working with, right? So I would have to put it on the back burner, and I would have to I didn't have to, but I would, because I just felt like it was too far over their heads. And then in the meantime, feel like I'm stuck doing the same things that is no longer fulfilling to me. So going through this process of really identifying with this new group of people that I want to work with and that I want to help, and I want them to grow and scale and all the things, to doing things that I'm doing and be able to have those benefits that the draping industry has benefited me with. Baby, that was exciting. I'm trying to tell you. So that's the first thing I did. The second thing I did, guys, is I had to go back and change up my content. I really had to change up my content, because the pain points that I was serving before and the things that I was providing solutions before, this ain't that. This ain't that. So it's like I had to just change up a lot. And honestly, it felt like I was birthing a new business, even though it's the same business, but it really felt like I had to go back to the drawing board and strip down things I had, things that I was no longer in love with, things I didn't want to do anymore, and rebuild. And that's exactly what I did. I rebuilt, right? So creating the different content, I was creating now products and solutions that was specifically for this group of people I want to work with. It's not to say these group of people don't count, but guys, I have been in the game for a minute. I have so much stuff that they can benefit from. And if they actively do the things that's there on level 2, they will be over here on level 4, right? So it's all about realizing what needs to happen for you to keep on this thing. And that was really a part of my why. I do what I do because I love transformation. I love the impact I'm able to have in people's lives. So that is like my biggest return. But if I was being in that 2022, 2023, and summer 2024, it was like, no, we got bigger work to do here. And not to mention, I've done so much work, and now to be able to see doors opening up and opportunities being granted, I want to take advantage of them wholeheartedly. But the advantage is not for me. It's for the people I serve, for the actual designers. I'm not a designer. I'm an educator. So it was just frustrating because some things I couldn't do. So it's like some opportunities I had to let them go because I didn't have no one that was in position that I felt, one, I wanted to back them. I wanted them to represent my brand. And it was just disheartening. It felt like, dang, we ain't gonna never make it. We ain't gonna never make it to here. So guys, that was just, I don't know. That was just a really dark and frustrating place for me. When things like that is happening, you begin to question, like, what are you really doing? Are you really doing what you're supposed to do? Because when you're doing what you are designed to do, it don't feel like that. It don't leave you feeling empty, right? So my thing was I had to really just change some things, remove the parts that no longer fit. And now I had to make room for this new where we were going, right? That's the thing, guys. I'm going to give you a really good actionable tip right now. Always write this down. If your business is growing, guys, guess what? Your ideal client is probably changing also. I want you to really take time every 6 months, if not every 6 months, at least once a year. Really update your client avatar and adjust your marketing accordingly. I kid you not. It is going to save you so much heartache. It's going to save you so much headache of working with people you no longer desire to work with. If you are serving people and these people are growing and these people are evolving, then your offers, guess what? Now is a different solution because they have a different pain point. Okay. I want you guys to tell me in the comments, if you could go back and if you could change one thing about your business journey, what would it be? I don't care how long ago it was or how new it is. What's one thing that you would change? This is going to take me into number 2. Mistake number 2 was serving the wrong clients, point blank, period. I talk about that because, guys, that had me dark for a very long time. In the past, I was trying to help everyone. Even when I thought I had defined who I was working with, I still found myself catering to everyone. It would be people I knew wasn't suitable for what it was that I was offering, but I would still let them in. I thought that if I made myself available, the right people would just come. But instead, guess what I was doing? I was attracting people that didn't respect my expertise. I was attracting people that undervalued my work. I was attracting people that expected premium services for pennies that wasn't nowhere near equivalent to what they were paying. And you want to know what? It took me to realize that I did it to myself. And that was one of the main things that made me create a criteria, right? Once I created this criteria, again, that's the whole avatar update, right? I begin to get that fuzzy feeling again, because I don't know about y'all, but baby, it don't feel good when you're working with people that you just don't want to work with, right? It happens, but it's things that you can do to eliminate that or minimize it from happening a lot. And again, with me being in this, I was just in that phase of showing up. I was doing my podcast every week, and guys, I'm passionate about what I'm doing and what I'm saying because I love what I do. And overall, I love my tribe. I got a really loyal fan base. I love you guys. I talk about it all the time, and I get emotional sometimes too, child, because it's just a great feeling to be not only received well, but to be respected and to be like this structure that people aspire to, right? So it keeps you wanting to always run your business on integrity. And so that's just that whole thing of me just constantly showing up no matter how I felt. But then it was just people buying things from me. And I'm not talking about buying a kit or buying fabric. I'm talking about people investing in a class and they think you're supposed to get their rib, or investing in a program. And I'm like, this is not designed that way. But again, I took my accountability and I realized that I did not set the criteria on who was qualified for this. Just that whole thing right there was like a learning curve for your girl. But I appreciated that process though, because it really made me refine who is suitable to work with me. And I thought I was clear before, but like I said, by me not taking that audit of where my people were and what their journey looked like now, I didn't allow that map to grow. I just kept it how it was when we initially built it out. So now, like, just to see the people, like I was saying earlier, that I serve now, like, guys, this is just freaking amazing to see people. One of my ladies in CDI actually retired, right? I have another one of my ladies in CDI getting married. Guys, I just can't explain to you how these are major milestones that are happening. And not to mention they are running like on the brink of running an empire. I'm trying to tell you, that is freaking exciting. And not to mention for me, it is inspiring because sometimes I be playing a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I be joking and I say, I'm getting older, y'all. I'm getting older because my bones feel that way. But to see my ladies beyond their 60s running these six-figure businesses and really going full throttle into their passion and their gifting, it is inspiring to me, right? Now it gives me some insight on, wow, I could still kill it in my 60s, right? I could still kill it. So I just really get excited again about what I do and the people that I'm actually working with. I really do. So the whole thing of getting the clients that I was working with wrong, the whole thing about that, three things I did, and it probably was the best thing I've ever did. And this was in 2024. And I did it again in 2025. Because 2025, boy, I wasn't playing. Like, I ain't playing. In 2024, one thing I did, I raised my prices, right? I didn't do any discounts, not one. I didn't do no discounts. I think 2023 is when I was testing it out. But 2024, there was no discounts. I also refined my messaging, guys. Right? And I wanted to make sure that my content speak directly to my ideal client. Like I said, my ideal clients now, they are retiring. They're facing retirement or they've already retired, right? They don't only want to design. They're 60 something years old. They don't want to run around doing a whole bunch of designing every weekend. Can you imagine just doing a masterclass in a weekend and making $50,000 in a weekend compared to that's probably something on a design scale where you're profiting $50K, probably 3, 4, 5 months. Guys, I'm trying to tell you it's different. It's different. So again, I definitely raised my prices. I refined my messaging. And the last thing I did, I stopped accepting clients who just didn't fit my standards, right? I don't care how much money you got. I don't care if you call me talking about you trying to make it work. That's one red flag right there. Trying to make it work. I don't want to deal with that because you can't focus on what I have going on or what you need to do in our work together if you're trying to figure out how you're going to make it happen, right? Not every dollar, guys, is a good dollar. That's one way. That's one indicator that will tell you if you're in it for the money or not. I will turn down $1 so fast. It'll make your head spin. I'm trying to tell you. It's people I had on my team and they would look at payments that was maybe failed or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, let them go. At almost being 45, I really value peace and I respect it. Boy, I swear. I didn't before. I will auger somebody down. I would. And I would get a thrill out of it too. Being totally honest. But now I don't have time for that. I really don't. So being able to raise my prices, refine my messaging, and stop accepting clients who don't fit the criteria changed everything for me. It really allowed me to show up and just enjoy showing up. It's nothing worse than showing up. You're like, oh my God, I don't even feel like being here. That's the worst. I'll operate that way in my business because I am doing how I see it. I am doing life's work. We're not just talking about draping and instruction and teaching. We're not talking about that. We're talking about impacting lives. We're talking about giving people a second chance, right? That is totally different. So here's another tip for you guys. If you keep attracting the wrong clients, right? It's time to audit your marketing. You really have to audit your marketing. And you got to be honest with yourself. Like, why did these people feel comfortable knocking at your door in the first place? Are you speaking to the right people? Right? Or are you speaking to bargain basement Betty? If you really want high level clients, if you really want premium clients, you have to talk their language. Not only that, you have to position yourself to where they see you. They don't see them little Canva logos and think, baby, that is an indicator that you ain't investing in your brand. I'm trying to tell you. Also, if your prices are too low for a premium market, I know some of you guys think that people shop around for the cheapest price. Don't. No, they don't. They look for the best. They look for the specialists. They don't even look at the price because they're going to book you based on them being able to trust your skill or trust your delivery. They don't care how much it costs. They got expendable cash. But they have to believe that you're the best option. Having the wrong messaging is not what's going to pull these guys in at all. All right, guys. So now that actually rolls into mistake number 3, guys. And that was not showing up consistently for my community. And let's just be real here. At the end of the day, there were times that I just didn't show up consistently. Life got busy. I got overwhelmed. I felt like I didn't want to talk about the subject at hand because it just was getting redundant. I was tired of talking about it, right? And at the end of the day, my audience didn't hear from me as often as they should have or even could have. I like going live weekly, or like when I was running my podcast. I think around that time, I probably had a series where I was live like maybe 3 times a week. I had a Monday segment. Then I had my podcast. Then I had Posh Late Night Biz, something like that. I was getting tired of saying the same thing. I was getting tired of the people asking me the same freaking questions. And I just felt as if I couldn't talk about the things I really wanted to talk about because they weren't at that level. At least that's what I thought. And unbeknownst to me, some of them were at that level, right? It's just I didn't come out with the freaking information. But guys, I don't know about you, but when you go quiet, guess what else goes quiet? Your income. When you are not showing up in your marketplace, when you're not reminding people who you are, what you do, and why they need you, they didn't go on to somebody else. You guys already know that we are in this microwave. I say it all the time. Pop, you got to deliver real quick, or you got to be going live every day. Baby, I ain't got time to do that. I don't have time to do that. For one, I love my life. I really do. I have positioned my business around my life and not the other way around. For the longest time, I had a lifestyle that was centered all around, or it was based upon what happens in business, right? So my life was centered around work first, and anything I wanted to do or couldn't do always was due to if I had to work or not. And now I'm not doing that. I did that for so long. I refuse to be that way in my business, right? So I created this business to really support my lifestyle, and I had to learn how to do that. But in doing that, I was just in a place where I wasn't enjoying being live or just being really interactive because I was bored. And sometimes that would come off on screen. If I can't explain it. Like now, like I go live, I record these podcasts, whatever it is, I'm excited. You want to know why? Because I'm excited about what I'm talking about. Not only that, I feel as if people are getting valuable information that they can actually utilize now that they're further along in their business. So it's just a different feeling. Whereas before it wasn't. If I catch me on a bad day because I'm unmotivated, I'm canceling that live. But it's not that I regret doing that, because I really don't. What I would have regretted was really showing up, knowing people pull from me, knowing people are addicted to my high energy, or people are looking forward to my high energy and my laughter and my golden nuggets and gems that I drop. So if I didn't have that, like, really, am I helping them anyway? No. So then I don't regret canceling lives and things like that, because I would have been a sight for sore eyes, child. I would have been. But, just that whole time, I just remember being frustrated throughout that whole experience. And I knew it was some things, just that whole time, I just remember being frustrated throughout that whole experience. And I knew it was some things, even in that arena, that I had to fix. Some of the things that I decided to do was, one, it was that whole content thing, right? This is really where AI helped me a lot, because I was able to now talk about the things that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't know how I was going to segue my people to this level, right? And it really helped me make the transition much easier, because if you've been following me, when I'm done with something, I'm done. I will pivot, I will shift, and you just get in where you fit in. Because I just always have to operate at my best, right? And if I can't operate at my best, I'm just not going to operate, because I don't know. It's just how I am. I'm a Gemini child. But I can honestly say AI was able to help me get my ideas and craft them in a way that it made an easy transition. Some people that at level 1, they stayed behind. Okay, quite naturally, I would think that you guys would. And I still have a lot of resources there for you guys. But those of you that's really ready to grow, those of you that's ready to implement these new strategies and do this new way of marketing and find this type of clientele, y'all come on over here, because this is what we doing. And I fell in love with that, right? So even with this podcast, I'm so excited. Like, I have been on point and I have been consistent the entire quarter one. And I'm even excited about quarter two and quarter three and quarter four, because these are new topics that I wanted to talk about. I just felt as if it was just they weren't there yet. So this is like, how it just gets me up, and how it just really changed my thought process, and how it really changed how I felt about my business. So that was one thing I did. Another thing I did was schedule regular engagement with my audience, right? And I'm doing regular engagement through live streams. I go live in my Facebook group every Friday, right? I'm making posts. So the way I make posts now is different. I'm trying different stuff. But my thing is, I need to get the information out there. For those that pick up what I put down, it really gives them instant tools, right? And sometimes I got to say things 4 and 5 times, or I will say the same thing in 4 different variations before a person actually get it. But I'm cool as long as you get it. So these are the preliminary things that I'm telling you should know. 5 tips where your client hanging out, things like that, right? So those posts are now catching the attention, because this is different stuff I want to talk about. I really want them to get and understand why you're not making money in the draping industry. It's not because people aren't paying. That excuse is dead. People are paying, but for some reason they ain't paying you. So I'm making sure my content is centered around helping them understand areas that they need to really strengthen, areas that they need to improve upon. And it's just a breath of fresh air for me and for them, because they aren't used to me posting those kind of posts. And even the trainings, like inside Raising the Bar mentorship, this entire year, every training, whether it was a coaching call or whether it was a draping virtual training, there are new trainings. I am not regurgitating old content, which is what I was doing in the past, because it was just the same stuff. And I wasn't going to re-record a draping tutorial, how to put together a 2-layer backdrop. Baby, I'm so tired of that. So everything that we've been doing, and even what we have planned, guys, this is just going to be an exciting freaking year for draping. This is going to be an exciting year for the Posh Academy. This is an exciting year for the Draping Queen. This is an exciting year for the Posh Tribe. This is just an exciting year, and I'm here for it. I'm trying to tell you. So that's the second thing I did, post, right? And also I got to be the example of showing people that this style, it does work. You saying nobody engaged with your post because you ain't saying what they want to hear. So just showing them and leading by example that these things do work. And it feel like I'm just starting over, right? I feel like I am nurturing a new audience, and I'm attracting a new audience, and it just feels like I'm starting over. But it's okay, because I have that fire back in my belly that I had in the beginning, and it just feels freaking amazing. I'm trying to tell y'all. And the last thing I did, guys, I made a commitment. And I rededicated myself to this industry, and I recommitted myself to my tribe. These guys have been around. Some of them are new, but for the most part, when I look out in that audience, and when I look people in these classes, when I look at people on my live streams, those names have been there for years, right? So I've recommitted myself to this tribe and really become the highest level of a resource that I could be for those guys, because it's just a lot of loyal people amongst the Posh Tribe that I just truly adore. And when I look at them and when I hear their name and I see their name, it confirms, why am I doing this in the first place, right? Because a community thrives, guys. It thrives when its leader shows up. That is one of the biggest things that kill communities. Like a lot of people run around and say they got tribes, and what else they call them? Communities, tribes, sisterhood. I don't know, whatever they call. But at the end of the day, that's just a name if it's not really functioning as a tribe. One thing I can say about the Posh Tribe, we function as a tribe. People come in, I could be gone. You'll see the members itself come in and band together. You'll see different, I call them chapters. I got a Charlotte chapter. I call them the Three Musketeers. I got a Detroit chapter. I got a Chicago chapter. These are people that found their besties in our classes, in our mentorships, right? And that's what it's about. They'll come in the community and they'll uphold other people. They welcome new guys. It's just freaking amazing. If you're looking for a tribe, and I'm not just running around saying this term just because it sounds cute, that is how we operate. So if you're looking for a tribe, definitely grab that link down in the comments. It's a free community. That's our private Facebook group. That is the very first place you want to join. That is where a lot of the camaraderie happen, because people are coming in, people are sharing their work, they nervous, they scared, and this is where they really get their power. Right? So just definitely look down in the comments and join our free Facebook community, guys. It's an amazing place to be. It's an amazing place to start. And it's an amazing place to find your biz bestie. Okay? So grab that down in the comments. So guys, this is where I'm gonna give you another tip, right? Every time I give you guys something that I did wrong or whatever the case may be, I definitely want to leave y'all with a tip so that you don't repeat what I did and you're better laced with the proper tools. So this one, if you are struggling with consistency, guys, I'm trying to tell you, batch your content and schedule posts in advance. Right now, we're doing it like a month in advance, but I had to creep my way up there because coming into 2025, guys, I had a whole lot of ideas and I just ran with them. It's like I found myself planning by the weeks because it just was so much I wanted to do. But now it's like I've really gotten caught up. And now that we have this new content studio, now I'm able to actually plan out in advance. Before, I really couldn't because I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. I ain't gonna lie. Because I was still working here at home. And then I knew I really didn't want to go on tour. I just don't want to keep traveling like that. And I just really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was really planning it out by quarters. And then it just struck me because I'm having these feelings and I'm just getting more and more excited. And I'm like, you want to know what? The only way I could really go deeper with the people I'm working closely with is provide the space where every idea that I have can really come to life and come to fruition. So now that we have that space, we have so much planned out and I feel really great about it because I just planned out all the way throughout June, right? Then they all out classes and everything that's happening in this content studio. So definitely, guys, you want to stay connected. You definitely want to stay connected. Even if you are a beginner, right? It's not to say you can't come to a class. Of course it's so many. We have beginners classes, believe it or not. I haven't had a beginners class in 3 years, guys. 3 freaking years. So you just definitely want to stay connected. Okay. So definitely you're going to want to batch your content. Schedule out your posts in advance. That is so freaking helpful. Sometimes I be having things people commenting on and I forget because I done scheduled it out a month ago. And I'm like, oh, I know what they're talking about now. And you definitely want to show up regularly, right? Show up regularly because that's going to build trust with your people. And what does trust do? Guys, trust leads to sales. I'm trying to tell you, I never really posted in my stories like that. Now, on any given moment, you'll probably see 15 stories on my Facebook or Instagram because stories I'm seeing, y'all know how people is on social media. They're going to read your post, right? They ain't going to like it. They ain't going to share it, but they definitely going to relate to it, right? But they ain't going to let you know. But in them stories, baby, they are watching and they are watching all of them. Every last one. They just swiping through, watching all your stories. So I utilize that to the best of my ability. In my stories is where I'm going to remind you what I do. I'm going to tell you what I do. I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm going to tell you who I serve. I'm going to tell you how you can work with me. But in my stories, I'm going to remind you because you're going to see me posting on that sucker every day. And it's always going to be new content, right? She's in downtime between her clients. Oh, now she's doing a training. Oh, now she's in a content studio. Oh, now she just ordered some fabric. I'm going to constantly remind you what it is that I do. So that when you think about draping, it's, oh, Precious coming first of mind. She is coming top of mind, right? So guys, I'm trying to tell you, these are things that you easily can do to really build trust with your potential clients because trust is the thing to lead to sales, especially if you're looking for those premium clients, because that is one of the things that make them buy anyway. It's not how much it costs. Don't think that they are out here price shopping because they are not. They have to trust you and they have to believe that you are going to pull this thing off, whatever their vision is or whatever. They got to trust that you're going to be able to do it. And this brings us to the last one. Number 4 is collaborating with the wrong people. I think I was turned off of the whole partnership thing early on in my career because I saw people not giving us our respect. I saw people wanting us to barter when realistically they ain't got nothing to offer us, right? So I was like, nah, I ain't got to sit at your table. I'm just going to focus on building mine. It's going to be built slowly. It's going to be real slow because it's just me, but I'm going to build it. I'm going to wake up the Posh Academy. I'm going to go to sleep the Posh Academy. I'm going to eat the Posh Academy. I'm going to shit the Posh Academy. It's all going to be the Posh Academy, Precious Stevens. And I did this for a long time. And I just kept turning down partnerships. Like, nah, I'm good. You know what? Nah, I'm good. Because I already know what I can do on my own. And if you're talking about a partnership or collaboration, isn't that supposed to increase the value on both sides? Well, I ain't see the increase on this side, but I seen how I could add. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. But here lately, once I'm getting to that level, I felt like I plateaued. I hit some major milestones in my business that I never thought I would make. I never thought I would generate $1 million in my business, yet alone nearly $2 million. I never thought I would be this published author I just never, it was a lot of things happening. And it just left me to that place of what now? Like, oh my God. And the things that I wanted to do at that moment, the only reason why I couldn't do it is because I didn't know how. So I ain't got time to sit here and long roll it again. I'm open to partnership now. All right, y'all want to pull up. If somebody wanted to work with me, now I'm looking at it differently, right? Now I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it as an opportunity. But guys, especially in 2024, baby, I quickly learned that not everyone operates with the same level of integrity, with the same level of professionalism, with the same level of work ethic as I do. Some people really only cared about how they could benefit from said situation and not about mutual growth. Some of the things I felt as if I had to, especially in 2024, I had to just go ahead through with it because it wasn't an opportunity for me. At that point, I was creating opportunities for the ladies that were in my CDI program. I was getting them into rooms that would broaden their horizon and broaden their reach and give them access to people that they would easily be able to book. I'm talking about the 4 and 5 figure budgets because these guys had it. And it just was so much happening. And it left me feeling I can't continue this way. I just felt as if I was beginning to take a little too many L's than I really signed up for. So, I had to turn that ship around again. And it's not to say I wouldn't collaborate. It's just I'm doing things differently. We did a lot of collaborations in 2024, and some of them went amazingly well and others did not. And I was like, it just was crazy. I ain't even gonna get too detailed, but I'm like, I am the type, if I can't work with you, if there's certain elements there, I just can't deal with you at all. If I can't trust your word, if I see that you ain't professional, if I see that you don't really know how to run a business, baby, we can't work together. Because I don't care how much we kiki and kai. When it comes to business, where's the black and white? Where's the contract? Where's the agreement? It was just so much. I was blown by. And I was like, I can't believe that this is happening, because from the outside looking in, a lot of people would assume that these people had their stuff together. And I'm like, what do we have here? Guys, I'm trying to tell you, it just was so much, but I had to go through that. I can honestly say I had to go through that, because now I go into partnerships different. Now I approach things different. Same way I do with my people I work with, my clients, I do the same thing with a partnership. I created a networking criteria. Like, you have to have boom, 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 if we are going to collaborate, period. If someone wants to collaborate, these are different things I ask for, right? One, they have to be aligned with my brand values, period. They have to have that alignment with my brand values. They don't have to be like me. They don't have to talk like me. But as far as alignment, it has to be there. I'm trying to tell you, when you try and work with or partner with people that you're not in alignment with, or that you don't have core values, baby, that's a disaster. I'm trying to tell you. Not only that, they got to deliver on their promises. People will sell you, baby, they will sell you a whole song and dance. I'm trying to tell you, which is why I have everything in black and white. Don't send me a DM talking about what we can do together. Put that in the contract. I don't want to hear it verbally. I don't want no spit shake on it. I ain't doing none of that. No. And lastly, guys, they have to be able to add real value to what it is that I'm doing. So many people want to jump on because they see how you can help them. Oh yeah, if they come, if we put her in our event or whatever the case may be, more people going to come. Baby, you're not using me like that. I'm trying to tell you, you are not using me like that. So at the end of the day, they are my top 3. If the answer is not yes to all 3 of them, then it's a no for me. it's a no. I don't care what the opportunity would look like for someone else. For me, I am so steadfast and I'm so solid in knowing who I am. I am not about to accept and settle for anything less than, right? And you guys shouldn't be doing that either. So here is where I want you to take this final tip, and then you can put your notepads away. Here's where I want you to take this final tip. Before you guys run around saying yes to any kind of collaboration, I don't care what kind it is, I want you to write down 3 ways that it benefits both of you guys. Not just 3 ways that it benefit you, because you still want to be able to provide value to them as well. Write 3 ways that it benefit them. If you can come up with that, then guys, that is a win-win. If you can't, have the tenacity to walk away. I don't care who it is. Walk away. That is a disaster waiting to happen. And with that, guys, I have to ask you guys this question. This is our last question, guys. Y'all got to tell me, be totally honest. Have you ever worked with the wrong client or the wrong partner? And if you did, what did you do about it? I remember I had 2 students it was so disheartening during the process, because one of the young ladies just had so much potential to really take their business to the next level, but they were held back and they were stuck because the other partner weren't pulling their weight. And so this particular young lady had to pretty much play both. And with her playing both, it just caused friction, because in a partnership, you're expecting things to go, 50-50 or whatever the deal is. But if you're doing all the work and you're pulling all the weight, 50-50 where? 50-50 where? But that's one of those things with partnerships. That's why you have to have a sound, ironclad contract, guys. And then there was another young lady that similar situation, stuck in this business because they are partners and they want to take things to the next level, invest in the class and do this and do that, but can't, and really don't see the benefit because they don't want to be adding value to the business by now offering this service, this premium service, but the other partner didn't pay or didn't invest and didn't help. It just was a big mess. And it's disheartening because you know that these guys have potential to really take it to the next level, but for this particular reason was stuck. So guys, that is a wrap on today's episode. I want you guys to definitely remember, guys, failure is not the enemy. It's a teacher. It's a guide. It's a stepping stone on your way to success, guys. I want you to learn to embrace your mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. And now that we talked about overcoming failure, right? Let's shift the focus to success. Guys, I want you to definitely join me next week where I'll share the 2025 event design trends that definitely will grow your client base and your revenue. And not only that, but I'm also going to teach you how you can master that for the low. Now, I know y'all think draping classes cost a little coin, but what if there was another way? Definitely tune in next week for that. While you're at it, guys, give this video a like and share it with your industry friends, someone you think that would really benefit from hearing what I discussed on today. While you're at it, I want y'all to hit that notifications bell so that you know when next week's podcast actually uploads. And if you're ready to start or grow a 6-figure draping business, guys, then you really need to join Raising the Bar Mentorship. Each week, you are mentored by the one and only Last month, guys, our entire month was focused on creating custom chat GPTs for each individual mentee so that they have their own little mini me right in their pocket, right? And this is something that can handle all of their business affairs and content needs in their truest fashion, sounding just like them. Not to mention, for the entire month of April, guys, there will be a live draping tutorial each and every week, teaching a new updated techniques to really stand out this year. I want you guys to go ahead and enroll and get instant access to all of our past trainings and also join our future trainings live. That way you can take 2025 by storm. Guys, Raising the Bar is one of those best kept secrets. I'm trying to tell you, there are so many perks that you get being inside this mentorship, such as exclusive access to our in-person business mastermind. And our next one is happening right here in Atlanta, June the 6th. So not only do you enhance your skills in draping, but you're also learning the business acumen along with it. So you can strengthen your marketing so that you can become visible by the people that you actually want to work with. And they are the people that don't have money problems. You also get live weekly coaching sessions to hold you accountable for the things that you know you need to do. But let's just face it, sometimes you just don't. And the pressure of showing up to these weekly coaching calls is just the thing to make you get action. And lastly, guys, you get your complimentary ticket to any Atlanta Premium Draping Masterclass and so much more, y'all. This is just the way you need to be if you're really trying to take your draping to the next level. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for joining me for another podcast on Raising the Bar. Until then, I want you to stay fabulous, keep slant, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.